Thank you. It's clear now?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Krishaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityanamini Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityanamini Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatyadeshatarine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatyadeshatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhattavrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Vivasadi Gaura Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Vivasadi Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Rama. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Krishna Rama Rama Hare Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Subhadra Jaya हरि नाम संकीर्तन की श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्णा। या प्लीज टेक योर सीट। चलो फिर सेटल डाउन। हरे कृष्णा। ओम नमः भगवते वासुदेवाय। भगवते वासुदेवाय। भगवते वासुदेवाय। संस्कृत्य देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। प्राणेश भद्रेश भगवत सेवया उत्तम श्लोके भवति नैष्ठिकी। वासुदेवाय नंदनाय च ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा गृह्णं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरौ श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवं च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणं तं श्रीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं सहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्ण सहगणा श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती नमोऽस्मि प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्ते कृष्ण प्रेम Krishna Krishna Chaitanya Krishna Namaha Ye Krishna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopiha Taptakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindaveshwari Vrishabhasute Pramani Hari Vanchaputarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva cha Vadita Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karti Vacharam Pangam Langete Girim Yatrapatam Vande Shri Guru Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna, welcome everyone for this evening session on the 10 topics of Srimad Bhagavatam called Bhāgavata Pravesh. ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ should we get an amplifier? Actually, we thought there will be less offline attendance and more online attendance, but we see more offline attendance than online. Good. Online also we have good amount of devotees. Yeah, for online it's clear because I'm using a mic here for online. But the need for temple hall, there is a class. I think that box we can get. Box we can get. So we had started this Bhagavata Vidyalaya.
And they will if you can reduce the sound, we need the fan.
I can turn off the fan. Yeah. Now it's clear. So Naimisharanya and Naimisharanya 80,000 sages are hearing without any mic. I think now mic is not required, right? Not required. Okay. Gauranga, you can hear? If you can hear, then everybody can hear. Okay. Mic is not required. Okay. So we have given these handouts to all of you. We can make notes in this also. You can write on the sides and bottoms. So we had started this Srila Prabhupada Bhagavad Vidyalaya about 2 months back. We launched it with the purpose of sharing the message of Srimad Bhagavatam in more deeper way with a close group of audience. Because Prabhupada wanted systematic study of his books. So in our temple, we are already doing Bhakti Shastri in several batches, IDC courses. But we thought we can add more deeper study of specific topics of Bhagavatam and Acharya's literatures. So last session, Chaitanya Prasad Prabhu took Bhagavata Parichaya, where he gave introduction of Srimad Bhagavatam and established Srimad Bhagavatam as the topmost pramana. How many of you are there for that session? Okay, a couple of you are there. So Srimad Bhagavatam is the ultimate book, especially for Vaishnavas, because it gives the conclusions of all the Vedic literatures, the ultimate conclusion of all the Vedic literatures. Okay. So yeah, some of you may be attending this for the first time, first class, but it's okay. So Bhagavatam is like a cake. From anywhere you eat, it is sweet. You take outside or inside, it is sweet. Or you can left side, right side, it is sweet. So you can begin anywhere, but better is to begin systematically, starting from first canto up to 12th canto. So that is the standard way. But that's how Parikshit Maharaj heard from Shukadeva Goswami. So sequential is better. And occasionally, but we need a remote for that. No? Works? Okay. You have to close the windows. So, we have to systematically study Srimad Bhagavatam. So, we take a Bhakti Vaibhav course which goes systematic, chapter by chapter, shloka by shloka. But here we are covering thematic. Okay, last session was more of Parichaya, introduction to Bhagavatam. So this session will study the 10 important topics of 10 main topics of Bhagavatam. Okay. We will not study them deeply, but we will study to reasonable extent so that we can understand the topic. Because each topic in itself is so vast, so deep. There are cantos speaking about one topic. So we'll not be able to cover everything. So I have extracted some important shlokas and points, brief notes. I made it, collected from Srimad Bhagavatam, mainly from Prabhupada's commentary and Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and also some from some Bhakti Vignan Maharaj's notes and all. So I have collected here. So we'll try to refer to this. And what you see in the PPT here will be same, what you see here. Okay. What is given to you. And for devotees who are joining Zoom, we have already shared on the group the PDF. We can refer to that PDF. So with the blessings of Shishi Radha Vinod and Guru Parampara and Srila Prabhupada, we'll try to begin the session. Srila Prabhupada said, if you read Srimad Bhagavatam, then you will realize God. Sadhyo Hridhi Avarudhyate Atra Kritivihi Shushrushvi Tatchanat. By hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna becomes captured in the heart. Yeah, you will immediately realize God. Sadhyo Hridhi Avarudhyate, immediately. But that requires attentive hearing, attentive submissive hearing. So then only we can have this experience of Krishna. And as you might have heard in the past course, that every letter of Srimad Bhagavatam glorifies Krishna. There is nothing in Srimad Bhagavatam which is not related to Krishna. Everything ultimately culminates in glorification of Krishna. Even if it is so-called story of a materialist like Yayati or Puranjana or Pururava, ultimately it culminates in pure devotional service. Or if it is a sinful person like Ajamila, so ultimately it culminates in pure devotional service. So that is the only thing in Srimad Bhagavatam, pure devotional service. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yataha bhaktir adhokshaje. Bhaktir adhokshaje. Ahritiki apratihada yatna suprasidati. So this bhakti towards Krishna, pure devotional service towards Krishna, can actually satisfy our heart. So that's the main topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srila Prabhupada Bhagavata Vidyalaya with the theme line as Satyam Param Dhimahi. The goal of Srimad Bhagavatam is to meditate on Krishna. Parama Satyam. Who is Parama Satya? Krishna. Dhimahi. I meditate on him. So ultimately all this study, what we are doing, should lead to meditation on Krishna. So the vision is the Vedic scriptures as presented by Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas will be widely read and systematically studied throughout the world. That was the vision of Srila Prabhupada and of this Bhagavad Vidyalaya. So every temple is having their own Vidyalaya and they're trying to teach locally. The mission of Srila Prabhupada Bhagavad Vidyalaya is to impart knowledge of Gaudiya Vaishnava literatures, especially that of Srila Prabhupada, ISKCON's founder Acharya, through education, culture and devotion, by organizing systematic courses, seminars and workshops in order to create devotionally competent individuals with character. So that's the goal, mission of Bhagavata Vidyalaya. So Shivadeva Goswami is speaking Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj, right? So long ago, 5,000 years back. And whatever Suta Goswami heard in this assembly, he spoke it to Shranotadi Rishis. And that version is available to all of us. And we'll try to enter into that Srimad Bhagavatam with their blessings. Srimad Bhagavatam is Krishna himself. Each canto of Srimad Bhagavatam represents a different limb of Krishna. So I'll not enter into this because already been discussed in last course, right? So in summary, the two lotus feet represent the first and the second canto. So, and the third and the fourth represents the legs, and Nabhi represents the fifth canto. and the hands. So Pancham, Shashta, sixth canto represents the, hands, and then Kantastu Raja Navamo Yadiyo. So the Kanta is Navama, and then Mukha is Dashama. Then Ekadasha Lalata, the forehead, and Shira is Dwadasha. So in this way, the whole Srimad Bhagavatam is nothing but Krishna himself. And how do we take darshan of Krishna? From the lotus feet up to the lotus face. So similarly, we start our Bhagavatam study from the first canto up to the 12th canto. Right? So here is the categorization. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given 5 pramanas, 5 ultimate conclusions. What is that? Aradhya Bhagavan Vrajesha Tanaya. The worshipable Lord is Vrindavan Krishna. So today, the main topic of today's session, this course is Krishna is the Ashraya Tattva. Ultimate topic to be understood in Srimad Bhagavatam. Ashraya. You don't have this? Do you have a copy? Maybe you can take this. You also don't? Okay, can take this. So, Aradhya Bhagavan Vrajesha Tanaya Tadhama Vrindavanam, and the worshipable place is Vrindavan Dham. And then what is the mode of worship? Gopis. Gopis are the topmost devotees, and we have to worship following in their footsteps. And what is the praman for Krishna being the supreme dham being Vrindavan, and also Upasana, that is Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? Ultimate praman is Srimad Bhagavatam. And the artha. Artha means something that is to be attained, valuable thing, that is prema. So these are the 5 things. If anybody asks what is Gaudiya Vaishnavism, these 5 things. That's all. Ultimate conclusion. And whose conclusion is this? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Matamidam. Right? It is the mata of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Tatra Dharana Paraha. There is nothing more which exists other than these 5 things. So we have to study Vrindavan Krishna, but to study Vrindavan Krishna, we have to go systematically. Like Parikshit Maharaj heard. Parikshit Maharaj wanted to hear about Krishna ultimately, but he started asking questions about Sarga, Visarga, creation, secondary creation, destruction, all these things he asked. And there is a reason behind that. So we'll study that reason today. So let's enter into the topic of today. So this Bhagavata Parampara is given here. Krishna spoke it to Brahma, Brahma spoke it to Narada, and Narada spoke it to Vyasa. Vyasa spoke it to Sukadeva Goswami, Sukadeva Goswami spoke it to Parikshit Maharaj. Where does this come? It is described in Srimad Bhagavatam, 2nd canto. Okay. 2nd canto, 8th chapter. This is described. How this parampara of Srimad Bhagavatam was told. So, actually, first canto of Bhagavatam is nothing but introduction. So, Bhagavata Parichaya is mostly first canto. Entering into the first canto. And the 2nd canto onwards, the topics begin. Because Shukadeva Goswami starts elaborating to Parikshit Maharaj. In the first canto ending, Shukadeva Goswami enters. Whole first canto is nothing but describing the sequence of events in such a way that ultimately Shukadeva Goswami meets Parikshit Maharaj, and then the discussion begins. The whole first canto is that only. Right? So first of all, Pandavas, children are killed. Ashwatthama is punished. Then Ashwatthama tries to kill Uttara's womb, Parikshit Maharaj, and Kunti Mahadi and Uttara comes for shelter. Krishna protects Uttara. Parikshit is protected. Then Kunti Mahadi comes, requests stay back. Kunti prayers. Then Yudhishthira Maharaj comes, please stay back. I am very confused. I am disturbed. Then he stays back. Then goes to Bhishma. Then Bhishma prayers come. And then finally Krishna returns to Dwarka in first canto, 10th chapter, 10th and 11th chapter. So then there is description of Dwarka, Krishna entering Dwarka, and then Dhritarashtra quits home. That's 13th chapter. Then 14th chapter, Krishna leaves. Krishna leaves and Pandavas retire. Family. Then after that, rule of Parikshit Maharaj. Okay. There is one chapter, 12th chapter, which is Parikshit's birth and Parikshit's predictions. Predictions about Parikshit Maharaj is given. But then actually 16th chapter onwards, Parikshit Maharaj rule, Parikshit Maharaj meeting Kali, then Parikshit Maharaj being cursed by Shringi, and then Parikshit Maharaj responds to that curse very with humility and gratitude, and then goes to the Ganga Tir on the bank of. It happens in the 18th chapter. In the 19th chapter, Shukdev Goswami comes, and there is meeting between Shukdev Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj. And second canto begins with discussion between Parikshit Maharaj and Shukdev Goswami. Okay, so that's the parampara. So now in this second canto, so the sequence of topics described are this: Sarga, Visarga, Sthana, Poshana. Okay. So these are the 10 main topics of Srimad Bhagavatam which are described. Okay. First is Sarga, which is described in second canto and third canto. Visarga is described in second canto primarily. Sorry, third canto elaborately, in second canto little bit. At the end, the last chapter describes little bit of Visarga. But third canto a little bit elaborates more on this Visarga topic. Then Sthana is described in, of course, topic of Visarga continues up to fourth canto. Manu, Swambhu Manu and Manu's dynasties, that's all Visarga only, part of Visarga. And then there is Sthana, which is the position of the living entities as per their karmas and their duties, fifth canto. And Poshanam is the protection offered by the Lord to the devotees, that is sixth canto. And Uti is nothing but karma vasana, the creative impetus, good impetus and bad impetus, karma vasana. That is described in seventh canto. Divine and demoniac, Prahlad, Hiranyakashipu, karma vasanas are described. Then Manvantara, the reign of the Manus, Manuputra, Manvantara Avatara, Devatas, Indras, so all those are described in the eighth canto. And Ishanugata, the description of God's avatars, Krishna's avatars and Krishna's devotees. Isha Anukatha. So Prabhupada calls it as science of God. And Nirodha comes in the 11th canto. Sorry, Nirodha comes in 12th canto. There's destruction, cosmic destruction. And 11th canto mainly talks about Mukti, liberation. In the section of Uddhava Gita, it's mostly about liberation. And 10th canto talks about Ashraya. Okay, Ashraya Tattva, Krishna, supreme shelter. Okay. So, what is a Mahapurana? The Puranas are also different categories. There is Mahapurana and there is ordinary Purana. A Mahapurana is that Purana which contains the 10 topics described in detail. So, when a Purana has 10 characteristics, it is called a major Purana. And when it has only 5 characteristics, it is called as a minor Purana. The characteristics of minor Purana are as follows: Sargascha Pratisargascha, Vamsho Manvantaranicha, Vamshanucharitam Cheti Puranam Pancha Lakshanam. So a minor Purana has these 5 Lakshanas. At creation, secondary creation, the dynasties of the kings, the reign of the Manus, and the activities of various dynasties. These are the 5 topics in ordinary Purana, minor Purana. But in Mahapuranas, I have got further topics 5 more additional topics which are mentioned here. So this is taken from second canto, 10th chapter, shloka number 1. So kindly repeat, because all this discussion is based on this shloka only. Shri Shukovacha Atra Sargo Visargascha Poshanamutayah Dareshanukatha Nirodhamuktirashrayah. And 3 more devotees recite here.
Shri Sukauvacha
Shri
Prasargo Visargascha Pranam Poshanam Mudaya Antarayeshan Kata Guru Muktirashraya Vishukovacha Prasargo Visargascha Poshanamutaya Antareshan Katha Muktirashraya
Shri Sukauvacha
Shri
Atra Sargo Visargascha
Atra Sargo Visargascha
Poshanamutaya
Sthanamutaya
Manvantareshu Kata
Manvantarishantara
Nirodhamuktirashraya.
Can somebody read translation?
Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, the Srimad Bhāgavatam, there are 10 divisions of statements regarding the following: the creation of the universe, creation, planetary systems, protected by the Lord, the creative impetus, the change of Manus, the cycle of God, returning home back to Godhead, the creation and the Sammam Bhava.
Yeah, these are the 10 topics of Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. So it's good to memorize this verse also. It talks about the 10 topics. So why Shukadeva Goswami is talking about this topic? Because everything in Srimad Bhagavatam is connected to a question. When there is a question asked, then Shukadeva Goswami answers. At the end of first canto, Parikshit Maharaj asked a question. I am dying now. What should I do? What is my duty in general? And specifically, what is the duty of a dying man? That is the question. So then Shukadeva Goswami answered. Okay. In general, everybody should think of Krishna. Tasmat Bharat Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Hari Shrotavya Kirtitavya Chasmartavya Chichatavayam. Okay. So one should think of Krishna, hear of Krishna. Then what is the duty of a person who is dying? Ante Narayana Smriti. Etavang Sankhya Yogabhyam Swadharma Parinishthaya Janmalabha Parapumsam Ante Narayana Smriti. So we answered these 2 questions. So any topic you see in Bhagavatam, it is related to a question. And the hearer asks the question and the speaker gives the answer. So Bhagavatam is nothing but questions and answers, questions and answers. In the second canto beginning, Prabhupada gives amazing purport about how there are so many topics to discuss. Everybody is asking a question and there is answer. Question and there is answer. So best question is that question which instigates talk about Krishna, which inspires discussion about Krishna. That is the best question. So when Parikshit Maharaj asks a question related to Krishna, Shukadeva Goswami appreciates. Wow, such a wonderful question. Varyaneshate prashnaha kruto lokahitam rupa. So such a wonderful question you have asked. So the speaker becomes grateful to the audience because you have asked such a question. I can think of Krishna. So that's why we should be grateful to people who ask questions because it makes us think of Krishna, right? So when you're giving class, if audience asks a question, you feel encouraged and you feel thoughtful, more deep, isn't it? Because it's a specific question. So you have to answer it. Similarly, Parikshit Maharaj asked a series of questions. Okay, in chapter number 8, which is entitled Questions by Parikshit Maharaj. Okay. And one of the first questions he asked was, please tell about how the Supreme Lord created this universe. Okay, so in answer to that question, these topics are being discussed. Okay, the first topic is about Sarga, right, and goes on with other 9 topics. Of course, this question answer series starts from second canto, beginning itself. Second canto, first chapter itself, Krishna, Parishit Maharaj asked questions about how can I think of the Lord. Right? Shukdev Goswami said, no, you should think of Krishna. Then Parishit asked, how should I think of Krishna? Okay, I'll tell you how to think of Krishna. First, to think of the Virata Rupa, universal form. Then think of Paramatma. Then you can think of Bhagavan. Like that. He answered it in first 3 chapters of second canto. So, first chapter is more about Virata Rupa. Second chapter is about Lord in the heart. And then Bhagavan feature also is described. So, some people say that Bhagavatam is not chronological. Isn't it? Some people say they have this topic. History means it should be chronological. Okay, 1700 में ये हुआ, 1800 में ये हुआ, 1900 में ये हुआ, 20th century में ये हुआ, ये हो रहा है. History should be chronological, but in Bhagavatam you will see some story from here, from this Manvantara, from this Yuga, from different Kalpa. They are all taken. So where is chronology in Bhagavatam? Is there chronology in Bhagavatam? Yes, yes. What kind of chronology is there in Bhagavatam? Okay.
Level of consciousness increases.
Huh?
Level of consciousness.
Okay, level of consciousness increases. Okay. Actually, history need not be taught chronologically. What is the use of learning chronological history? Not much. What is the use of remembering dates and events? What we have studied in college is nothing but dates and events. Dates and events. That's what is history we have studied. But what is the use? There is no use. So Srimad Bhagavatam does not describe chronologically the order. It describes themes, thematically. So these topics are described thematically. In one sense, you can say, okay, first canto, second canto, third cantos, each of them highlight this one of the topics. But actually, all these topics are present in all cantos. Jiva Goswami says that all these topics are present in all the cantos, but one particular topic is highlighted in a certain canto. Okay, so that comes here, I think. So Jiva Goswami has explained that the 10 principal topics of Srimad Bhagavatam are found within each of the 12 cantos. Like in second canto, you will find Sarga also, you will find Visarga also. Right? And you will find Krishna's Leela in 7th chapter. Second canto, 7th chapter is what? All Leela Avataras. Suddenly Leela Avataras. Again, we see Bhagavatam, 6th canto is describing about, 6th chapter is describing Purusha Shukta, how Hiranyagarbha appeared, and then Brahmaji is offering prayers to Garbhodaksha, Vishnu, Purusha Sukta, and suddenly it changes topic to Leela Avatar. Okay, that is the ultimate topic, Ashraya Tattva. So Shukadeva Goswami speaks it in the second canto, 7th chapter itself. So many incarnations, and Krishna's Leelas are already described here. Krishna's Leelas with Nanda, Yashoda, Gopis, killing of some Asuras, they are all described in 7th canto, but elaborated further in 10th canto. So Ashraya Tattva is there here also in 2nd canto. Okay. So one should not try to assign each of the 10 topics to a particular canto. Nor should the Srimad Bhagavatam be artificially interpreted to show that it deals with the topics successively. Need not. We don't have to show that Bhagavatam is chronological. Okay. Just relish the way it is given. You don't have to try to fit in chronology into Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? Nor should the Srimad Bhagavatam be artificially interpreted to show. Like there was one scientist who interpreted Dashavatara. to fit into Darwin's theory. First is Matsya, aquatic, then comes Kurma. No, it is offense. One should not do like that, trying to fit in to Darwin theory. See, Darwin's theory is right, Darwin was right. No? The Dashavatara also is like this. No. So actually, while reading Bhagavatam, we should try to read, appreciate as it is, what is described there. Not try to bring our prejudices and our own scientific and whatever knowledge we have acquired, try to fit Bhagavatam into that. No. Okay. So try to relish the way Acharyas have given, Shukadeva Goswami has presented it. That's the best way. The simple fact is that all aspects of knowledge important to human beings, summarized in the 10 categories mentioned above, are described with various degrees of emphasis and analysis throughout Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. And some canto, some topic is emphasized, some topic is analyzed to different degrees throughout Srimad Bhagavatam. This is how we should understand Srimad Bhagavatam. So, now all these 10 topics are being described in Bhagavatam, but what is the one goal? Right? What is the one thing which Bhagavatam wants to give us? Is it these 10 topics or is it only one? Are there 10 topics or there is only one topic? So next verse of Srimad Bhagavatam tells this. Dashamasya Vishuddhyartham Navana Lakshanam Varnayanti Mahatma Rutena Chanjasa. Okay. So, Dashamasya Vishuddhyartham. What is the 10th topic? 10th topic is what? Ashraya. So, Ashrayasya Vishuddhyartham. Okay. To Vishuddhi means to isolate the 10th topic, to highlight the 10th topic. Vishuddhyartham Navanam Yaha Lakshanam. All the 9 topics are being described to glorify the 10th topic, which is Ashraya. Mahatmanaha Varnayanti. The great souls, they glorify. Who is Mahatma here? Shukadeva Goswami. Okay. And it can also refer to Vyasa and Brahma, Narada also. So Mahatmanaha Varnayanti Shrutena Arthena. By Shrutena means Shruti, by Vedic evidence, and Arthena means by their own explanations. Right? To isolate the transcendence of the Sammam Bonam. So Prabhupada calls Ashraya Tattva Sammam Bonam. It's the ultimate topic, Sammam Bonam. So to isolate the transcendence of the Sammam Bonam, transcendence of the Sammam is the ultimate topic to be studied and realized. The symptoms of the rest are described. Navanam Lakshanam Varnayanti. Symptoms of the 9 topics are described. Sometimes with Vedic inference, Shrutena, by quoting the Shrutis and other Shastras. And sometimes means by direct explanation, and sometimes with summary explanations, Arthena, given by the great sages. Okay. So there is only one topic in Srimad Bhagavatam. It is Ashraya, Krishna. And all other topics are assisting that Ashraya Tattva. So that's the main thing. Is it clear? So, in the notes I have given, so will there be different meanings to this in different scriptures? And these 10 topics are there, Sarga, Visarga. Different scriptures sometimes may give different meanings. No. The devotees describe the nature of the 9 topics in order to impart knowledge of the truth, unmixed with anything else of the 10th topic, the shelter. Okay, so the devotees will describe in such a way that ultimately Krishna is glorified. Other things which are excluded as a shelter include Swarga and health. Okay. You're, you're part of this session?
Yes, I am. I told final things.
Oh, okay.
Gaura.
Okay. What is your name?
Sachin.
Sachin. So, sometimes people may say, okay, Ashra is Swarga, people want to attain Swarga. Okay, or even hell is also Ashra for sinful people. So they are the destinations, but they are only temporary destinations, it's not the ultimate destination. Ultimate destination is Krishna's shelter, lotus feet of Krishna, which are only the Jiva's destinations caused by the Supreme Lord. These places indicate that only the Jiva's bodies are subject to creation, maintenance, and destruction. That there is only one shelter is not a fault. There is only one shelter. Since that is the conclusion of scriptures, the devotees describe these topics with meaning coming from Shrutena, Shrutis, and the stories illustrating the meaning of the Shrutis, Arthena. The devotees such as Vidura and Maitreya describe these topics. Right? So Mahatma, the Mahatma can refer to Vidura and Maitreya also. Because third canto onwards, now this is 10th chapter of the second canto, the last chapter. So last chapter ending, Shukadeva Goswami says, Parikshit, whatever questions you asked to me in the 8th chapter, same questions were asked by Vidura to Maitreya. This parampara. No? Same questions were asked by Vidura to Maitreya and he gave elaborate answers. Now I'll describe those topics. So third canto, fourth canto is nothing but Vidura Maitreya Samval. There is chronology. Chronology in terms of topic and discussion is going on. Okay, but not essentially in terms of date and time and events, not like that. So that you can't expect in Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. So that's why some people wonder is Shukadeva Goswami Parishit are discussing suddenly Vidura Maitreya are coming. Vidura had already retired. Before Kurukshetra battle, suddenly is coming now. Again, so like Vidura already came in the first canto also, delivered Dhritarashtra. So it appears to be like no chronological problem, but actually it is not. It is more thematic, topic wise. So this table helps you understand what are the 10 topics. Okay. So all the 10 topics are described. So we'll take one by one and discuss them. So today we'll try to discuss maybe Sarga and Visarga elaborately. And then tomorrow we'll take other topics. So these two topics take good amount of time to discuss. So Sarga is the first topic and Sarga is creation of this material world. Okay. So the material world is the world which is created and destroyed. Bhutva Praliyate. Bhagavad Gita talks about it. So it is created and destroyed, created and destroyed. But spiritual world is never created and destroyed. So creation means what? Creation of material world only. Spiritual world always exists. When we refer to creation, creation means creation of material world. Because we are part of this material world. So for us to study the creation of this material world is important. That's what this topic is described. Now you may say, Prabhu ji, Parikshit Maharaj के पास सिर्फ 7 ही दिन है, 7 days, and he is hearing this topic, how these 16 elements, earth, water, fire, air, ether, what is connection to Krishna? And where is, how will this help Parikshit Maharaj to think of Krishna? So question may come. We'll come to that answer. We'll read the commentary by Vishnu Chakra Thakur where he explains why this topic is so elaborately described when Parikshit Maharaj had so less time. So Parikshit Maharaj understood it very attentively, sincerely. Now we should also make an attempt to understand this topic sincerely, attentively, as far as our capacity goes. Because some of these topics are little difficult to comprehend because they are beyond our uh, beyond our thinking. So we don't have experience of such subtle things. Generally, we have experience of gross things, but this creation is also of matter, but matter is also subtle, right? It is subtle. So these subtle topics have to be understood. After many, many times of reading, people understand. Even Brahma, it is said, second canto, first chapter, it is said, Brahmaji read the Vedas 3 times, then he understood. Yeah. Then he understood the actual meaning of the Vedas after reading them 3 times. It is given in the first chapter of second canto. So similarly, we should also read. Brahmaji required 3 times for us.
Because they had to fast. Brahma had 3 times to fast to his
Vedas.
Vedas.
Then he could understand. And what to speak of us? How many times we need to read in order to understand? It's given here. Yeah, I'll try to find out that verse. Right now I don't. So, if you don't understand any Shastra, what to do? Read again and again. What generally people give it up. अरे हमसे नहीं होगा. भगवद गीता समझ में नहीं आता है. Right? Let's give it up. No. If you don't understand something, read again, read again, read again and again and again. Then some revelation will come. Okay, and we should also pray. Like Advaita Acharya, he could not understand one verse of Bhagavad Gita. He fasted for a few days. I'm not understanding, so I'll do austerity. I'll do tapasya, purify myself. Then we'll be able to understand. So that which cannot be understood by reading can be understood by tapasya. Austerities, more chanting, more service. Right? तब क्या होता है? The knowledge reveals. When we read books, generally people think I am reading a book. But when we read Bhagavatam, we should understand that we are not reading book, we are reading. Actually, it's Krishna. Okay. We are reading Krishna. Bhagavatam is a person. And when you are talking to a person, the person will reveal according to the sambandha. Right? You will not go and share your intimate things with a stranger on the street. But if somebody is a very close friend, then you'll share your heart. Like Krishna is sharing with Arjuna, Bhakto Sime Saka Cheti Rahasyam Hyetad Uttamam. Because Arjuna, you are my very close friend, I am telling you this Rahasya. Right? Similarly, here Parikshit and Shukadeva Goswami, they are very close to each other. By the will of Krishna. First time they are meeting, but they are very close, heart to heart. So their very intimate discussions about Krishna are happening. So similarly, Bhagavatam also reveals to the degree we develop sambandha with Bhagavatam. So we should take reading time as a time to develop sambandha with Srimad Bhagavatam. Not just as an activity to read and put some marks. I read some 30 minutes today, sadhana, score submitted. No. One should read it as a time to spend with Krishna. So more sambandha becomes strong, then more revelation. Bhagavatam itself will reveal. And you don't understand, then go to Guru. Ask from Guru, spiritual masters. Then they will give more explanation. Because they have developed more sambandha with Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. So these topics of Sarga, Bhutamatindriyadhyam Janma Sarga Udahritah. So this is Sarga. So Shukadeva Goswami summarized the 10 topics in one verse. Then second verse, he said that Ashra Tattva is the main topic. And now he goes on explaining, defining each of the topic. Okay, 10.13, he describes Sarga. I've given it in the notes also. It is there? Bhuta Matra Indriya Dhyam. Janmaha, the creation, Janma of Bhuta Matra Indriya Dhyam. This is called as Utsarga. Okay. What is Bhutam? 5 gross elements. Pancha Mahabhuta. Right? Bhuta means not bhoot. Bhuta also refers to material elements. Okay. Pancha Mahabhutagalu. So five Panchamabhuta: earth, water, fire, air, ether. Bhumi, Rapo, Analo, Vayukham. And five matras. What is matra? Tan matra. Tan matras. Shabda, Sparsha, Rasa, Rupa, Gandha. Five tan matras. What is tan matra? Sense objects. No? So sense is also required. Indriya. Next is Indriya. What are the Indriyas? Senses. Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin. So Pancha Mahabhuta, Pancha Tanmatra, Pancha Indriya. So 15 ho gaya. See, sutras means what? Condensed. In condensed form, everything is given. Now you have to expand it, then you get all elements. So 16 elements. Dhyam. Dhyam refers to Mahat Tattva. It may refer to mind, but actually refers to Mahat Tattva. We'll see what is Mahat Tattva in the future slides. Okay. So the birth of these items is called as Sarga. Okay. So here Pancha Indriyas are referring to Jnanendriyas, but there are other five Karmendriyas also. So that makes it 21. Okay. Then there are Manabuddhi Ahankara, makes it 24. So 24 elements we कह सकते हैं. And then 25th item is Atma. 26th item is Paramatma. So this is called Sankhya philosophy. The breakdown of the material elements.
Equals also.
One of that. Now, three gunas are different. Three gunas activate the material elements. Okay. So, all the material elements are in dormant form. But when Lord glances on it, then the gunas are activated through the glance. The glance is nothing but kala, time. Through the time, the gunas are activated, and gunas produce these varieties. We will see what are this. It will come. Gunas also will come. So Vishwanath Chakravarti uses little different way. Sarga means manifestation of elements, tanmatra, senses, ahankara, and mahatattva, dhyam. So ahankara is hidden there, right? Bhuta matra indriya dhyam. Dhi also refers to ahankara, he says, and mahatattva. So dhi refers to mahatattva. So false ego is also created along with this, as well as the description in the universal form caused when the Lord creates transformation of the gunas. So when the gunas are transformed by the glance of the Lord, then these varieties are produced. For example, you take milk and you start heating it. You will see varieties coming in the milk. Right? It starts boiling, then layer of cream is formed. Then you keep boiling, then it becomes khoa, right? So by the transformation through the fire, he produced varieties. Similarly, by the transformation of the glance of the Lord, the gunas are activated and varieties are produced. Varieties are already there, but in a undifferentiated form. And when they are activated, they get differentiated, and that's called as sarga. So Parikshit Maharaj asked about this creation in this fourth chapter only. भूय एव वित्सामि भगवान आत्माया यथा इदं सृजते विश्वं दुरीभाव्यम अधीश्वरैः. I beg to know from you how the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by His personal energies, creates this phenomenal universe as they are, which are inconceivable even to the great demigods. Right? Yatha idam srijate. How does He create this world? So in answer to this, Shukadeva Goswami quotes Narada Brahma Samvad. Okay. Narada asked the same question. So this is called Parampara. And Shukadeva Goswami is quoting, yeah, same question was asked by Narada to Brahma in the beginning of creation. What is that question? Yad Rupam, what is the form of this universe? Yad Adhishthanam, who is the foundation of this universe? Yatasrishtam, how did he create this universe? Idam Prabhu, Idam in this material world. Yad Rupam, Yad Adhishthanam, Yatasrishtam, Idam Prabhu. Yad Samstam, how does he, how is it conserved? Yat Param, Yatcha, Tat Tattva Vada Tattvataha. And under whose control is all this being done? Please explain all this. Narada is asking to Brahma. Why Brahma? Well, Brahma is the first creator. Narada thought like this, that you are the creator. And Sarvam Etat Bhavan Veda. Narada said, you know everything. Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhu. Right? You know past, present and future. Kara Amalakavad. Just like if I have a ball in my hand, I know its weight, I know its texture, I know its feel, I know everything. Right? Similar, whole world is in your hand, Brahma. Vijnana Vasitam Tava, and you know scientifically everything about this universe. So please tell me. Then Brahma says, sorry, please don't misunderstand. I am not the Supreme. There is Supreme Lord Vishnu. He has created. Okay, and I will tell you who has created and how he has created. Then he goes on to explain about creation. So this topic of Sarga is already described before in chapter 5, 6. It's already described. Okay. And it's also described in 10th chapter. It's also described in 3rd canto by Maitreya Muni to Vidra. So this topic of Sarga is described 3 times. Same details are described. Repetition, you may say it is repetition, but it is repetition with different emphasis. Okay. Now here it is described how Krishna created the elements. That's all. Yata Srishta. Then in the 10th chapter, it is described how when the Lord desired to create, then all elements came. There's a little slight different emphasis. And in 3rd canto, there is a description of how all the material elements were created, but they were not active, they were inactive. And when Lord entered into each of them, then it became active. So with different emphasis, it is described with 3 different times in Srimad Bhagavatam. And other, in 12th canto also, it is described briefly. So more of destruction is, Pralaya is described in 12th canto, which we'll discuss tomorrow. That's why I brought this book here. But Sarga is described elaborately 3 times. Now what we will do here is that we will, all 3 summarizedly will study. Okay, we don't have time to go through all 3 different things, but we will study in summary. Yata Srishtam, how did Lord create? Okay. I have given this in the notes. There's a photo which I have given. So, who is the creator of this universe? Mahavishnu. But Krishna doesn't create directly. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, I'm not bothered about this material world. Where does he say? Nine 9.4. Maya tatam idam sarvam jagadavyakta murtina matsthani sarvabhutani nachaham teshavasita nachamasthani bhutani paschame yogameshwaram. I am indifferent to this material world. Krishna says that. By my amsha, right? Ekam shena sthito jagat. That is also told by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, 10th chapter. And with my 1 fraction of my energy, I maintain the whole material world. And who is that amsha? Right? Yasya amsha amshena sirjante devatirya naradishu. In the 1st canto, it is already told. Right? Yasya amsha amshena. Krishnasya amsha amshena sirjante. He creates this material world. Okay. So Krishna expands his Balaram into Chaturvyuha, into Narayanam, and again into Mahavishnu. And Mahavishnu creates. So Mahavishnu has this energy called material energy. which is dormant and which is undifferentiated, right? It is one energy which is called Pradhana, okay? Pradhana Shakti. So it's like a cloud in one part of the universe, like a dark cloud in one part of the universe, and rest of the universe is spiritual world. In one part of this spiritual world, there is one portion called like a cloud, which is called Pradhana Shakti. And when Mahavishnu desires to create, what happens? He glances at it. When he glances, it starts getting activated. What is that glance? What does that glance contain? The glance contains three Shaktis: Kala, Karma, Svabhava. Okay. What is Kala Shakti? Time. Krishna says, Kala Asmi, Kala Asmi Aham. So Krishna is time. Time I am. So it's another form of Krishna, which pushes things, which forces change in this world. That's called Kala Shakti. So nobody can catch time, nobody can stop time. So once Kala Shakti is injected, then the material energy starts transforming. So Kala Shakti is like the heat which activates the milk, which activates the gunas, three gunas. Pradhana already contains three gunas. Murguna, Sataguna, Rajaguna, Tamaguna is already there, as our Rashatanat was telling. It's already but in dormant state. When you put heat, when Lord glances, it starts getting activated. Okay. And what is karma? So
Activity, karma activities,
activities of whom?
individual,
Huh?
individual,
Which individuals?
we.
Okay. So Kala Shakti is injected along with the Jivas are also injected. So Jiva ka karma and his Svabhava. Both are also injected by the Lord because Lord knows who is carrying how much karma and who has what Svabhava. Okay. So that is put. Okay, how to understand this? In the previous Pralaya, when the destruction happened, all the Jivas went into Mahavishnu. Now they are dormant. Yes, Nishvasita Kala Mathavalambya. When Lord exhales, then all the creation starts again. Right? He exhales, material energy comes, and then he glances, and all the differentiation Brahmandas are formed. In one sense, it is described that from his pores, all the material universe come like a seed and it expands. Right? Then he glances. You can understand like that also. He glances on them, then it forms the universe. Then he injects all the jivas into particular universes along with time, jiva, and jiva's karma and jiva's svabhava, which was there already in the past before the destruction. That is injected into pradhana. So when the pradhana becomes activated by the three modes, okay. So initially it was undifferentiated, it was unmixed. Now what happens? It becomes mahatattva. Okay. So mahatattva further differentiates into mahatattva in satuguna, mahatattva in rajaguna, and mahatattva in tamoguna. Okay. So mahatattva in rajaguna is called sutra tattva, and mahatattva in tamoguna is called as ahankara, tamasa. It's also called. So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna talks about this as tamasa. If you read the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, there it is mentioned. That no, in the 10th chapter only it is mentioned. So this ahankara in mahatattva and tamaguna that further reacts with three gunas, sataguna, rajaguna, and tamaguna, and produces all varieties. Okay. So when that mahatattva, ahankara, which if it gets transformed in sattva guna, it produces devatas. You are able to see there? Yeah. So it's called as Jnana Shakti. It's called Adhideva Shakti also. It's all given in the shlokas, but we are not studying all the shlokas. It will take a lot of time to go deep into that. So Adhideva, and then it produces mind and 10 sense devatas. Right? There are 10 senses. Each sense requires a devata to control it. So sense devatas are produced in Sattva. And when that Ahankara, which is Mahatattva in Tamoguna, predominantly, then which transforms in passion, Rajaguna, it's called Kriya Shakti, and it becomes transformed into Prana, 10 senses, and intelligence. Okay, intelligence is in Rajaguna, mind is supposed to be in Sattva. So if you maintain mind in Sattva, it will be happy. If mind goes to Rajaguna and Tamoguna, it is unhappy. It disturbs us, troubles us. So we should try to keep the mind in Sattva. So prana, tenses, and intelligence are produced by passion, and then ignorance called Dravya Shakti. Dravya means elements, material elements. So that's called Adhibhuta. So they are nothing but 5 Tanmatras and 5 Panchamahabhutas. Okay. So this is how the Srishti or Sarga happens. Are you able to understand? How? Now science says everything happened by chance. Hmm? Right? All these elements have come, all this periodic table has come by chance, they say. No, but Vedas give elaborate description of how all the metal elements were created through this glance of Lord Vishnu and subsequent transformation through the effect of the 3 modes of metal nature. Okay. Now all the ingredients for creation are ready. अब ये तो primary creation है ना, right? So all the ingredients are produced here.
Sudra Tattva in Rajas, what is that? Mahatattva and Sattva create devatas. Mahatattva in ignorance, Ahankara creates all elements and all these things. What does that do for you, Sudra Tattva?
Yeah. So it is mostly in Rajaguna, and it is said here in 10th chapter only it comes here. Sutra Tattva is that tattva which makes the elements active or alive. I will read that section. Yeah. Creation of Virat, differentiation of 3 features, Adhyatmika, Adhibhutika, Adhidevika was done. From the ether within the body of the universal form arose Ojas, Sahas and Balam, and from that arose Sutra Tattva. The senses become active only because of the action of Sutra. That's what is described.
It's like thread.
It's a thread, Sutra. So when the senses become active, the senses are created, but they require some energy of Sutra to function. That's what is described.
It's like similar for thread of a pocket.
Maybe that is not explained here. Not much is elaborated. Some topics are elaborated, some are briefly described. Yeah. Here. So by connection with the Lord, matter, karma, time, svabhava, and the totality of the jivas can produce effects. Without his presence, they have no effect. So the Lord's energy is required for all this to function. Okay, right?
Yogi differ. How means Sattva.
Svabhava means your nature.
of the individual.
Your nature of the individual.
So nature of
Swabhav.
the individual means, you will be, in,
Yeah, mixed modes. Your mixed modes.
Huh?
Yeah, your desires,
Hmm.
your unfulfilled desires. Okay, that is also your Swabhava. And what is your mode of nature which you are supposed to acquire? That is also your Swabhava.
Questions.
Impressions, that is also Swabhava. Right? That is Swabhava Shakti. We will forget, but Lord remembers. Right? The Lord, desiring to become many, arose from his bed after the sleep of universal destruction. And created the universe, shining brightly in three forms of his energy. Right? Three forms are Adideva, sense devatas, Adhyatmam, and Adibhutam. Sense devatas, subtle sense organs, and gross sense forms. Then the one shining Purusha divided into three forms. Please hear about this. From the ether within the body of the universal form, who was acting in various ways, arose Shaktis of the senses, mind, and body. Right? Senses ka Shakti, mind ka Shakti, body ka Shakti, right? Which is called as Ojaha, Saho, and Balam. And from them arose the best life air called Sutra. It's called Sutra Tattva. The subtle form of these three energies arose the best life air, manifester of life, called Sutra. Sutra is nothing but prana. Prana is what? Sutra is a portion of Mahatattva with the predominance of Rajas. It is not part of Vayu. This is explained in 2.5.24 commentary. He says. So Sutra is a kind of prana, right? Energy. We talk about prana Shakti, right? What is prana Shakti? Prana Shakti is life here, which gives life to all the senses, life to our body, which maintains our body. That's Sutra. That's like a thread. That's called Sutra. Huh?
Connection.
Which connects. Okay. Yeah. Let's stick to what is spoken here. We don't have to speculate.
Here, Vikarta, Adideva, mind and 10 sense devatas. So they are also coming from Mahatattva, Ahankara mind. So they are also part of, product of Ahankara mind.
Yeah, Ahankara is Mahatattva in predominance of tamas. So from that it is created.
He mentioned Mahatattva in Sattva. They produce devatas.
Yeah.
Here also, 10 sense devatas is here. So is there any difference?
No, sense devatas are produced by Mahatattva when it transforms through Satoguna. When it's transformed, Mahatattva in tamas, which is called Ahankara, when that is transformed by the Satoguna, Taijasastu Vikurvana, it is said. Then the sense devatas are produced. When it is transformed by Rajaguna, then you will find that, see, this is like chemical engineering. When you put two chemicals, you will find many things coming up. So like this, when Satuguna, Rajaguna, Tamaguna act on this Mahatattva in Tamas, then these all elements are produced. That's how it is explained. Multiples. Basically 24 only, not more than 24. The rest, what you find this world is nothing but combination of these 24 elements.
Pradhana and Mahatattva, they themselves are both having.
They have gunas. Pradhan has gunas. It is in dormant state. Mahatattva is activated state. But still, variety is not produced. But then when it further transforms through the three modes, Okay, then the variety is produced. That's called Prakriti. What we see now is Prakriti. It's not Mahatattva, it is Prakriti. So Pradhana, then there is Mahatattva, then there is Prakriti, what you see now. Hmm? Getting?
Three modes are inactive.
In Pradhan, it is inactive. It's unmanifested state. Right? So like Radhesham is the example of a atta. You bring atta and mix it with water, then you make big. That is Pradhan. Then you start taking little portions, make golas. Okay, that is like Mahatattva. Then you make a chapati out of it, a puri out of it. That's Prakriti. It's like that. Or you can take that golas and then you can, what you can do? You can make a cookies, you can make a different items through that, isn't it? Charger. Okay. Can just turn on that button. Ah. At least theoretically try to understand now what it is. As I told in the beginning, in our first thing we may not understand, but you keep reading again and again, you'll understand. Now the material elements are created. That's also interesting. First there was sound, then ether was produced out of it. Then ether mixed with touch became air. Air when it was mixed with form became fire. And the fire when it was mixed with taste became water. And the water when mixed with smell became earth. Okay. So this is how gradually the elements were created. So each earth has got all the characteristics of fire, water, air, ether also. Like sound can travel through earth. It can travel, doesn't it? Right. But water doesn't have smell. There is no element of water smellless. But water has got fire in it, air in it, and sound in it also. Water has got fire. You break H2O, you get tremendous fire, isn't it? Now they are hydrogen, what is it? Cars are coming, right? You have to, instead of petrol, I heard you have to put water in that. Isn't it? So means water has got fire in it. It's true, right? So what we see as water is not actually water. It has got fire, it is a taste, and it is a touch also. It is a sound also in it. So very scientific. Fire has got air and ether in it and sound in it. Right? So each item has got all its previous qualities. Okay. So when you say any element, okay, you say any element, for example, uranium or anything. So science tries to describe elements differently, right? Hydrogen, oxygen, or the next one is helium, neon, argon, all this. They have periodic table with more than 130 elements or so. But the elements which Shastra describe is 24 only. Because even the elements of hydrogen is made of fire, it's made of ether, it's made of sound, it's made of all these things. Earth, right? They are all having all these 5 elements to different degrees. Some elements like nuclear elements have a fire element more. उसको तोड़ दो fire निकलेगा बाहर, isn't it? Some have water element more, right? So like that you have to understand. So each element in periodic table is nothing but combination of all these 5. You can find these 5 elements in their original form only in the layers of the universe. Nowhere else you'll find them in the original form.
Only the
Layers of the universe.
the ones that they are years to go to.
The pure form of these elements you can find there only. And on the inside we'll have only mixed form of these elements. That's all.
Also, we
Huh?
Will make illegal. You cannot make them. What there are 10 layers. So
No, there are earth, water, fire, air, ether. There is Mahatatva, Ahankar, and Pradhana. I think 8 layers are there. So we have to go back to God, you have to cross all these elements and go. You are talking about 7 oceans, they are different. Milk ocean, water ocean, sweet ocean, liquor ocean, they are different. But these are different.
each layer is so each layer is thicker than the previous.
10 times thicker than, yeah, that's 10 times thicker. Earth element is there, this much thick. Water element is 10 times thicker. If you make the entire Brahmanda this big, for example, actually universe is only this much, one dot. Actually, the hollow within the universe is only one dot. The universe is so thick, so it's impossible to get out of this universe. So we'll do a session on Vedic cosmology, and we'll call our Pavaneshwar Prabhu, the expert in that, and it will be a 3-day workshop. He will cover entire cosmology. Where is Bharatavarsha? Where is Bhuloka, Bhumi? Is Earth flat or round? Is Earth moving or stationary? So all that he will tell me. Okay. And all the senses have got devatas. So these are the devatas. Because without the devatas, senses cannot function. Okay. Like for example, the eye requires a devata called sun. If sun is not there in darkness, we can't see. Okay. So yeah. That's called Karana Srishti, and then Karya Srishti was what? Misassembling of all these elements. Okay. Through Lord's Maya Shakti, all the indifferent, separate. So by Lord's Shakti, they all got unified. Okay. So after 1,000 years of inactivity, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu enters into this Brahmanda. Okay. And enlivens it. It was dormant, but when Lord entered into the Brahmanda, it became alive. Then he expands into Virat Rupa. Okay. Till here is Sarga. Okay. Whatever Mahavishnu created, that is Sarga. After creating all this, he calls Brahmaji. Abhi tum le lo. You take it forward. Then Brahmaji, what should I do? Hey, whatever I have created, use that and produce further ingredients. Like for example, if you want to cook sweet rice, okay, father will go and purchase rice, milk, sugar, ghee, dry fruits. Then give to the wife, and wife will start cooking. Okay, boil the milk, put sugar, okay, sweet rice ready. Right? So, whatever father did, that is like Sarga. Whatever mother does like Visarga. So, similarly, whatever Mahavishnu did is Sarga. And after that, whatever Brahmaji does, that's called as Visarga. And he also can't do independently. He needs help of Mahavishnu. So he takes a class from Mahavishnu. मैं क्या करूँगी? Of course, Garbhodaksha Vishnu gives him a class. We should do creation like this, and he starts doing. Okay. Now, another thing to understand in Sarga is this thing, this table, which I have given there. So this is something interesting. Sense organ is the eye. Okay, there is two organs are there. One is subtle organ, one is gross organ. So the Sanskrit names are given there. One is called Chakshu and second is called Akshini. Chakshu is subtle. Chakshudan Dilojai. That's subtle. And then gross eye, the what black and white you see, that is called as Akshini. And the sense Devata is Surya. And Tanmatra, the object to be seen is form. Okay. And the material element is fire. Fire has form in it. Okay. So clear? And eyes do the function of seeing. Now here, sense organ, sense Devata. Okay. So below it is given Adibhuta is sense organ, Adideva is sense devata. Okay. And Adhyatma is subtle sense organ. So all three are required. You require Chakshu, Akshani and Surya. Only then you can see. If one of these is absent, you can't see. So for seeing also we are dependent on all these three things. Some people have very beautiful looking eyes, but दिखता नहीं. Because आंखें अक्षिणी है, चक्षु नहीं है. सूर्य भी है मगर दिखता नहीं. But chakshu is taken away by past karma, whatever. Right? Shrotram Karna Dig Devata. The Devata for ear is the Devata of direction, Dig Devata. Granam and Nasika. Granam is subtle organ and Nasika, nose, physical form nose, is subtle. So, and Devatas are Ashwini Kumaras. And Jiva and Talu. Right? Taramade Jiva Ati. Jiva is subtle. Talu is the physical tongue. Jiva is the subtle tongue. Right? So, this God is Varuna. And Tvacha, the skin, the Devata is Vayu. Like we can feel the air, Vayu. Then Hasta, Devata is Indra, and activity is Karma. Pada, Devata is Upendra, and the activity is Sharanasya, Shema. And then, yeah, tongue, Jiva, Mukham. Yeah? Because the function, two functions are there, speech and taste. For taste, Devata is Varuna, but for speech, Agni. He speaks like fire, no? Fire speech बोलते हैं ना? And then anus, Paya and Gudam, right? And Devata is Mrityu, assisted by Yama and Mitra, act of evacuation. And genitals, Upastha and Shishna, Shishnudara Parayana, Shishna. Devata is Prajapati and act of procreation. Okay. So, Adidaiva, Adibhuta, and Adhyatma. So, all three are here. Okay, here we always doing devices different, Adidaiva, Adibhuta, Adhyatma. That's with the kleshas, but here the different definitions. Okay.
This Upendra is Vaman.
Yeah. No, it's not Vaman. It's another Devata called Upendra.
Well, then like realization how somebody is able to see, he's able to, conceptualize, see what.
Yeah, so we have to see through the inner eye, Chakshu. See, when you close your eyes, can you see me? You can see me, because that's Chakshu. In the mind, you can see. I can see all of you sitting here.
Realization is not in these three.
So that is Shastra Chakshu.
Conceptualization of something.
That's a function of intelligence. The function of intelligence is to whatever you see, whatever you hear, mix it, conceptualize, develop on it, understand it. That is the function of intelligence. In third canto, details of intelligence are given. I spoke on Bhagavatam class on that, about functions of intelligence. Yeah, what is functions of intelligence given there?
Probably this Devatas,
Ah,
if somebody is offending the Devatas, if there is impact that particular.
yeah, if somebody offends Surya, or if somebody misutilizes, Surya becomes upset. अरे मैंने तुमको दिया, तुम गलत यूज कर रहे हैं. They become upset. So they may be taken away next level. Because ultimately Rishikesh and Rishikesh is Sevanam. One should use it in Krishna, so that's the right use. We are, nothing belongs to us. We think that this body belongs to us, senses belong to us, but everything belongs to Krishna. So you have to engage it in Krishna service. Rishikesh, Rishikesh, Sevanam. Getting? Ultimately, Devatas are in charge on behalf of Krishna. Yes, Krishna doesn't want to directly maintain, he maintains through his energies. And Virat Rupa is also described in this briefly, 10th canto, 10th chapter. Right? The Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishya, Shudras, the mouth, arms, thighs, and the legs. Swargaloka is his chest or the head, chest to head. Bhuvarloka is navel and Bhuloka is legs. Hmm? And there's another explanation of all the 14 planetary systems representing different limbs of the Lord. So this is also Sarga only. And now comes Visarga.
So the limbs of the Virat.
Yeah. Imagined as a form of the Lord. Virat Rupa is imaginary, it is not real. Hmm? So we'll briefly take Visarga. Visarga is creation by Brahma. Right? The Lord accepted the form of Brahma to create bodies of jivas based on their karma. And from his own body became Brahma, Swayam Bhu. He appeared from the body of the Garbhodaksha Vishnu. Okay. Modes permit to give many species. Okay. According to Satoguna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna, different species are created of Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic. So Brahmaji created the living entities and Lord Vishnu only maintains all of them. That's next topic, Sthanam. Sthanam, who maintains? Again Vishnu, as Paramatma maintains it. We'll discuss that tomorrow. So and Lord destroys through Lord Shiva. Most people see Brahmaji as creator, but pure devotees see beyond Brahma. They see Krishna behind Brahma. So Lord doesn't take part directly in creation, maintenance and destruction. He does it through Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. Brahmano Guna Vaishamyat Visarga Purusha Sprata. So what Brahmaji created is called as Visarga. Guna Vaishamyat. The subsequent resultant interaction of the modes of material nature is called Visarga. Right? So through the Purusha refers to Brahma. Purusha refers to Brahma. Visarga refers to creation of moving and non-moving entities by Brahma. Creation of the jivas means giving jivas bodies, not jivas are created. Bodies of the jivas are created by intelligence, giving intelligence, senses, and body for engaging in material enjoyment. Pursuing liberation or practicing bhakti according to their qualifications. That's a karma, jnana, and bhakti. According to their impressions, they will either do karmic activities or they will do jnana activities, jnana kanda, or they will do bhakti. So Brahmaji created. So of course this verse talks about how so Lord accepted the form of Brahma, which I already read. What did Brahma create is given from verse number 37 to 40. Okay. So what is Visarga? Creation of this. Brahma created Prajapatis, Daksha Prajapati, Kardama Prajapati, Kashyapa Prajapati, they are all Prajapatis. And Manus, how many Manus? 14 Manus, starting with Swayambhu Manu, and eventually other 14 Manus will come as children of this Swayambhu Manu in the dynasty. Okay, one after other. Or one of the Prajapati's sons becomes the next Manu, like that. So then the Devatas are created. Some Devatas, the elemental Devatas are created by Mahavishnu. That's part of Sarga. And other Devatas are created by Brahma. Okay. The sages, the Saptarishis, the Pitrus, the Siddhas, Charana, Gandharva, Vidyadhara, Asuras, Guhyakas, the guardians of Kuvera, Kinnaras, Apsaras, Nagas, Sarpa, Kimpurusha, Uraga, Matras, Rakshasas, Pishachas, Pretas, Bhutas, Venayakas, Kushmandas, Unmadas, Vetaras, Yatudanya, Grahas, birds, wild and domestic animals, trees, mountains, reptiles, as well as various living beings of 2 types, 4 types, and 3 types. They're all created. The results of action are good, bad, or mixed. Right? Either Udam Gachanti Satvastha, Madhya Tishtanti Rajasa, Jaganagaru Tishtan, right? Because of the gunas of Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, men become devatas, humans, and inhabitants of hell. O king, these three types of beings are again divided into three when each nature is mixed with the other two gunas. So 3 into 3 into 3 into 3 into 3 become multiples like that. So I have given some photos there. Yeah. Right. So creation of immutable jivas, creation of lower species, and creation of human beings. The human beings are mostly in Rajaguna, passionate. Creation of immutable beings means trees and plants. Details are given there. Vanaspati, Oshadi, Lata, hollow plants like bamboos and Virudaha and Drumaha. They are all described in Bhagavatam. And this is a summary. And animals are also different types. 2 hood, 1 hood, 5 claws, birds. They're all described. See, trees have upward nourishment. Animals have horizontal nourishment. Humans have downward nourishment. ऐसे खाते हैं ऐसे जाता है. Animals ऐसे खाते हैं ऐसे छोड़ता है. Trees नीचे से खाते हैं ऊपर से छोड़ते हैं. Right?
So can we say all the species are originally created by them?
Yeah. Bodies are created by Brahma. So Darwin theory of evolution. And Devatas are also 8 divisions which are mentioned here. Vibhudas, Pitra, Asura, Gandharva, and Apsaras, Yakshara, Yaksha, Rakshasa, Siddhacharan, Vidyadhara, Bhuta, Preta, Pisacha, Kinnar, Kimpursha, and others. So these are the different. They are little more higher powers than humans also. So that's cool.
And that. Brahmaji created all species according to Lord.
By the order of the Lord. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Brahma like this said, generated already created that Vishnu is the state.
Shirodaksha. Shirodaksha Vishnu maintains Paramatma.
And
Every atom. So it's time up. Those who wish to leave, they can leave. Prasadam, you can take in Prasadam hall. Okay, for devotees on Zoom, unfortunately, we don't have Prasadam. So be happy with the Bhagavatam.
Kannan Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Those who have questions can stay back. Those who are getting late, you can take Prasadam.
In Bhagavatam, it is suggested reading from first.
Yeah. Where to read from first.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
What is your name? Ishwar. Okay. You are connected to whom here? Suvene Guru. Okay, nice.
What we so they have fallen under two categories.
Yeah.
When we talk about 33 crore devas, so they fall under this the root mass category.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Okay, some people want to ask questions online. I think you can unmute.
Hare Krishna.
Ajinkya Prabhu. So,
Prabhu, it's me, Gagan.
asking a question that somebody is speaking from your phone? Huh? Acha, Ajinkya name is here.
Prabhu, Gagan, I have joined with Ajinkya Prabhu's name.
Huh?
I have joined with Ajinkya Prabhu's name.
Oh, proxy.
I have a doubt too. Like we discussed about Karana Srishti and Karya Srishti. No, but Karta Srishti means whether it is a spiritual world or what?
Which Srishti?
Karta. Karta Srishti.
No, spiritual world we are not discussing only here. Okay.
Okay.
Spiritual topic, world topic we are not discussing. Spiritual world always exists. It is never destroyed. It is never created. It is always existing. Right?
Then what represents the Karta Srishti group?
Doer, they are devatas.
Okay.
So Karta means the doers. Right? Doers are who? The devatas or the devas. It is Karta. So Karya Srishti is that which is done by after the creation of material elements, Lord wants to assemble all of them because they are unmixed. They are not mixing because they have to mix together to form the creation. They have to be held together. And Lord only makes them hold through his Maya Shakti. Okay. There's one term used in Bhagavatam, I forgot that. That Shakti amalgamates all the elements. Then it makes it easy for Brahma to use it. Otherwise, they're not mixing only together.
Do example that you give.
Huh?
The do example is.
Do example. When you mix water, then atta gets amalgamated. So Vittal Karanapur is asking another question. There are 33 crore devatas. Do they fall into this category? Yeah. So these are broad categories mentioned here. But the 33 crore, I have heard that there are 33 categories of devatas, and each category has 1 crore. Right? So that's also I have heard. And those 33 categories are mentioned. They are mentioned 33 categories of devatas, right? Like Vasus, the and Lokapalakas, Devatas, like this. The different categories of 33 categories are mentioned. So and each category has got 1 crore. That's how we 33 crore.
Pitras, Asura, Gandharvas, Apsaras are all other than 33.
No, they'll fall into one of that categories. They'll fall into one of that categories only.
So they fall into 33 crore.
Yeah.
Including Asura.
Yeah, they also. But how exactly we have to see that categorization. But how exactly who falls into where? We have to do some research, categorize.
I think coping doesn't mean crores. Doesn't mean types or crores.
It means both. So what I have heard is that there are 33 categories and each category has 1 crore each.
Also, I had a question about Buddhas because where I come from, we do Buddha against the world.
Yeah.
Is it the same thing mentioned?
They are souls with different higher powers.
Higher power?
They are not gods.
Not gods.
They are Bhutas. They are mainly, some of them are ancestors who are hanging around there. And they need some, they demand things, you would supply them, they're peaceful. And if you give them Krishna consciousness, they get liberated. Right? From that Bhuta suffering, they get liberated, they go back to God.
That practice, let's say, and do the hard to do that.
Yeah, that's true. There's
How much do I have to let go, whatever I know from the picture? Completely everything on you. So when I start at home, so that's what I keep what I know already.
you are coming for the first time?
Yes.
Have you attended any sessions before?
I've done my own research. Most of the times I try to read something that I get online.
What do you do?
I work right now.
Uh,
So whenever I get free time, I